Delaware Valley's leading news program with Rick Williams, Sarah Blomquist, and meteorologist David Murphy.
Good afternoon. I'm Alicia Vitarelli. The big story on Action News this noon is Hermine's next move. The storm will soon be pushing off the Atlantic coast and still has a chance of affecting our region during the Labor Day weekend. The Florida Panhandle took the first beating. Hermine made landfall overnight, bringing strong winds and heavy rain. It could be heading here next, and tropical storm watches are already in effect for the New Jersey and Delaware coastlines. Action News reporter Jeanette Reyes is standing by at the shore where people are hoping for the best. But we'll begin with meteorologist Melissa McGee at the Action News Big Board with an update from the National Hurricane Center. All eyes on Hermine, Melissa.
Yeah, that's right, Alicia, especially as we head into the holiday weekend. And here's the very latest with Hermine. It did make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane just east of St. Mark's, Florida, about 1:30 in the morning. You can see right now it has weakened as it is over land right now, currently over Georgia. You can see all of that moisture coming in from the Atlantic and all of the heavy rain from Georgia up through the Carolinas. This will continue to travel to the north and east as we go throughout the rest of today and into tonight. So we've got tropical storm watches and warnings posted up and down the eastern coast. So for the warnings, they extend from Savannah, Georgia, up through the Carolinas into Cape Hatteras as well. For our latitude here at the Mid-Atlantic, we are underneath a tropical storm watch from Surf City all the way down to Atlantic City and Rehoboth Beach. Ocean City, Maryland, updated now into a tropical storm warning. Here's the very latest with Hermine. It is right now a tropical storm. Winds sustained at 50 miles per hour, moving to the northeast at about 18 miles per hour. And this will continue to ride over the Carolinas later on today, then move offshore off the Mid-Atlantic coast. This is what we know. Once that occurs, and we do have this storm moving off the Mid-Atlantic coast, it will essentially stall out just to the south and east of Atlantic City and south and east of Jersey as well. And there will be a change, a windshield wiper effect, what I like to call, until that storm system does move offshore. This is the latest, and this is the update with this storm. As it moves off the coast, you can see from Sunday, the winds with this storm are 65 miles per hour, but by Monday, it reaches hurricane strength to 75 miles per hour. So that's the update, and that is the change. It goes from tropical storm strength to hurricane strength across our region, and this could have an exacerbated impact across our region, especially at the coast. So this is what we are calling for: prolonged onshore winds at the coast late Saturday night right through Sunday, gusts up to 60 miles per hour, coastal flooding, beach erosion, rip currents and high surf, and possibly that heavy rain. Coming up, we're going to take a closer look at the track of Hermine, let you know what that means for the shore, also for inland locations across our region, Alicia, with that full and exclusive AccuWeather forecast.
Melissa, thank you. And it just keeps changing. We have to stay locked into what you're telling us. And looking live in Cape May, this could be the calm before the storm. It's a pretty nice Friday afternoon, but as we've been telling you, rip currents are still a problem today. And of course, Hermine could threaten those holiday weekend plans. Action News reporter Jeanette Reyes joins us live from Atlantic City, where people are hopefully soaking in this nice day that we're enjoying today, Jeanette.
Well, Alicia, you said it there. It really is a gorgeous day today, the calm before the storm. I can tell you, though, it's already not looking like your typical Friday. The boardwalk is usually much busier than what it is right now. But with the storm headed our way, it seems tourists are playing it safe, and businesses, they're bracing for the economic impact. You're going to see Hermine in action this weekend. The closer you are to the coastline, rough surf and high winds are expected. Minor to moderate coastal flooding is also a possibility. Just how much of a problem Hermine will be is still very much in the air, but the impact of an impending storm is already being felt. Businesses were preparing for a big Labor Day weekend to close out the summer, but if foot traffic looks anything like it does now, their bottom line will take a hit.
Well, we're busy all summer, but, usually get the last big hit for the summer. And I think the people are here, probably definitely getting hit today and tomorrow. Sunday is up in the air. And so is Monday, I guess. But hopefully the storm will stay offshore. I'm thinking positive. The rain will stay away.
Optimism is the key. A lot of businesses are hoping that they can make up for any losses that they feel over the weekend, that they can make up for it on Labor Day, on Monday. So all of them really keeping their fingers crossed and hoping for the best. Reporting live in Atlantic City, Jeanette Reyes, Channel 6 Action News. Alicia.
All right, Jeanette, thank you. Positivity is key. In the meantime, organizers of Made in America on the Ben Franklin Parkway are also preparing for what looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty wet weekend. Live Nation in Philadelphia's Office of Emergency Management said that so far they do not have a weather contingency plan for the concerts, but that could change come tomorrow depending on Hermine's track. And of course, we will stay ahead of Hermine throughout the weekend at 6abc.com/weather. Our interactive map shows you the conditions in our area and the storm's path as it moves up the coast. And of course, follow our Action News meteorologists on social media for all the updates as they happen. In Northeast Philadelphia, a 42-year-old man riding his bike was struck and killed by a car, and the driver took off. Police are now searching for that driver who left the victim to die on the 5700 block of Frankford Avenue early this morning. Action News reporter Annie McCormick joins us live from the Accident Investigation Division with more on the vehicle police are looking for. Annie.
And Alicia, that's right. Police now believe that the striking vehicle is silver or champagne in color and possibly a Buick. They say the driver of that striking vehicle was speeding down Frankford Avenue before hitting the victim. Police say it was just before 2 a.m. here in the 5700 block of Frankford Avenue when a car hit a man on a bike, tossing him on the hood. He then landed more than 100 feet away from the point of impact in the grass.
This was a very violent crash. The bicycle that the victim was riding was broken in half.
According to police and witness accounts, the 42-year-old victim stayed in the bike lane and was traveling northbound alongside traffic when the suspect crossed over into the bike lane.
The bike did have some safety devices on it. It had at least 3 lights that are still blinking even after the auto accident.
Medics pronounced the victim dead at the scene. After analyzing debris and car parts this morning, detectives now have a better idea of the striking vehicle description. It was last seen fleeing north on Frankfurt. And again, that description, a silver or champagne colored vehicle, possibly a Buick. Now, police also believe that there are more witnesses out there. They're hoping that they do come forward. They do want to remind people you can remain anonymous. Call AID. For now, reporting live outside of the Accident Investigation Division in Brewerytown, Annie McCormick, Channel 6 Action News. Alicia, back to you.
All right, Annie, thank you. A nasty crash is under investigation along Route 42 in Gloucester Township. One vehicle reportedly flipped over in the southbound lanes this morning and went off the highway, landing in some trees. Police are trying to determine why the driver lost control and whether anyone was hurt. Crews battled a house fire in Norristown this morning. Chopper 6 was over the 600 block of Chain Street just after firefighters put out the flames. No one was hurt, but they did evacuate some neighboring row homes as a precaution. Donald Trump will be in Philadelphia today to address religious and civic leaders from the African American community. His private meeting with black voters is set to begin any minute now at a catering hall operated by the Greater Exodus Baptist Church's nonprofit arm. We know some local clergy are invited, including Reverend Terrence Griffith of the First African Baptist Church. He told Action News he's not sure whether he'll attend today, adding that nothing Donald Trump can say will change his mind about November.
I mean, if they're looking for support from me as a leader in this city, they can forget it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. I will never vote for this gentleman.
On the Democratic side, presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's campaign announced she will be trading in her private jet for a larger plane to travel with staff and press. This change takes effect after Labor Day. The move comes after the State Department also agreed to turn over all of Clinton's schedules while in office sometime before Election Day. And still to come on Action News this noon, a college athlete convicted of sexual assault walks out of prison after serving just 3 months of his sentence. And no school before Labor Day. We'll tell you where that rule is now the law. Melissa.
And Alicia, back here at home, it is a beautiful day across the Delaware and Lehigh Valleys. Currently, numbers are in the upper 70s. Hard to believe that we are tracking some wet changes as we head into the rest of our holiday weekend. We've got the details on Tropical Storm Hermine. Those details with the AccuWeather forecast.
And we'll have those stories and much more when Action News continues. With the light of day, we're getting a fresh look at the hurricane damage in the Florida Panhandle. This photo shows how a road just buckled from the heavy surf when Hermine made landfall last night. The storm is now hitting the southeast and kicking up waves in the Carolinas. The National Guard and rescue teams are on standby. Many of the nation's largest airlines have already made contingency plans for Hermine. If you want to change your flights because of the storm, JetBlue, American Airlines, United, Southwest, Delta, and Spirit will all allow you to do so for free. Some are even giving passengers full refunds if they cancel. The former Stanford University swimmer who was convicted of sexually assaulting an unconscious woman is a free man. Brock Turner was released from prison today after serving just 3 months. Turner left the Santa Clara County Jail this morning, serving just half of his 6-month sentence. Turner plans to move back in with his parents in Ohio, where he will have to register as a sex offender. Turner was convicted of assaulting a woman near a trash bin after a fraternity party. A day after this fiery explosion, the launch pad where the SpaceX rocket exploded will reopen today. SpaceX was conducting a routine test fire at Cape Canaveral, preparing to launch a satellite for Facebook, when the rocket just blew up. No one was injured, but the blast could be felt there for miles. There is still no word on just what caused that rocket to explode. JetBlue is trying to figure out how 2 children who were flying alone on separate flights were sent to the wrong cities. 5-year-old Andy Martinez was supposed to fly to New York from the Dominican Republic on August 17th. Well, when his mother went to pick him up, JetBlue presented her with the wrong 5-year-old who was holding her son's passport. Little Andy, her son, ended up in Boston instead. He was flown home later that day. JetBlue apologized and offered the family flight vouchers, but they say they will not be using that airline again. Maryland's governor has signed a controversial new policy limiting the school calendar.
School after Labor Day is now the law of the land in Maryland. So thank you all very, very much.
You hear that? Maryland public schools must start after Labor Day, no school before Labor Day, and they must end by June 15th. But students must attend 180 days of classes in between. The law is meant to extend summer break and boost business, especially at the Maryland shore. But critics fear that squeezing it all in could negatively impact students throughout the school year. President Barack Obama is in Hangzhou, China this afternoon on his final trip to Asia as president. He is meeting for the final time with G20 leaders, and then he will attend a regional gathering. The tour will highlight the strides the U.S. has made with Asian countries in establishing stronger economic partnerships, as well as the challenges. Coming up at noon, it turns out a pretty landscaping flower could be causing the Zika virus to spread in Florida. We'll show it to you. Plus, one of the newest smartphones to hit the market comes with a hidden danger. The batteries can explode. How Samsung is responding to the problem. The job market had a slowdown last month, according to the latest report from the U.S. Labor Department. The unemployment rate stayed at 4.9% in August. Employers added 151,000 jobs. That is far below the number that was added the previous 2 months. And analysts say the slowdown makes it more likely that the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates at its next meeting. Samsung is halting sales of its latest smartphone because the batteries might explode while they're charging. The company has confirmed 35 cases of the Galaxy Note 7s catching fire because of those faulty batteries. Sales are now suspended. The 1 million customers who already bought one of those Galaxy 7s will be able to switch it out for a new phone. To health check this noon, and officials say a colorful flower might be contributing to the spread of the Zika virus in Florida. Bromeliads are suspected as a breeding area for mosquitoes because they have cylindrical tubes that hold water inside. Some are now being removed from public areas, and residents are being told to rinse them out after it rains. That's because, of course, the Zika virus is being spread by mosquitoes in Miami Beach, and any standing water helps those mosquitoes breed. Coming up today on Action News at 4, it is Freebie Friday, and we have some great giveaways for you this afternoon, from free meals to a free kid-friendly history lesson. We've got all the details. And a renowned university takes unprecedented steps to make amends for slavery. We'll explain what's happening at Georgetown University ahead in Big Talkers. And AccuWeather is coming up next at noon. Taking a live look there, the Ben Franklin Bridge. It is a beauty today, but changes are in the works. Meteorologist Melissa McGee will track all of it for you in our 7-day forecast when Action News comes right back. Well, it's a beauty out there today, but changes are coming.
There are coming for sure, and there are definitely going to be more changes with the track of Hermine as we get into the rest of our weekend and over the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll be tracking it closely for you, Alicia. We'll show you what's going on outside in the near term. Storm Tracker 6, live double scan radar. You can see it's dry, it's quiet, no issues with precipitation. It is a beautiful day. We've got low humidity across the region and very dry conditions. That's more than likely going to change for portions of our viewing area as we get into our holiday weekend. Gorgeous outside at the Sauer in Philadelphia, coming in at 77, 75 in Reading, 66 up in the Poconos, at the coast in Cape May, 77. A nice northerly wind at the Sauer, drying out the atmosphere, and you can see dew point numbers responding nicely. Most locations have dew point numbers in the middle and lower 50s, so nice and comfortable. Any place we are finding an uptick in the humidity is right at the coast there in Cape May, 64, and down in Dover as well, a 65-degree dew point. All in all, it's a good-looking Friday afternoon. Here's Satellite 6 along with Action Radar. You can see it's dry and quiet across our region, really from New England down across the mid-Atlantic as well, thanks to this dominating ridge of high pressure. And this ridge of high pressure is actually going to stall things up across our region as it relates to Tropical Storm Hermine. So we'll widen out the picture here, and there's the very latest with Tropical Storm Hermine. Winds sustained right now at 50 miles per hour. It made landfall early this morning just east of St. Mark's, Florida. Now it continues to press inland. It is starting to weaken as it does so, however. Notice all of that moisture as well coming in from the Atlantic, pressing over Georgia as it moves to the north and east and eventually heads for the Carolinas. So here's the very latest with the track of Hermine. Wind sustained at 50 miles per hour, moving to the northeast at about 18 miles per hour. And this will more than likely move over the Carolinas later on today into tonight, then off the mid-Atlantic coast as we get into the weekend. And as we were saying earlier, is that there will be some change in the path of the storm and in the track of the storm until it moves offshore. What we do know is that the storm is essentially going to stall once it moves off the mid-Atlantic coast. And the update with the latest National Hurricane Center is saying that by Sunday, this is still a tropical storm with winds sustained at 65 miles per hour. But by Monday, it strengthens into a Category 1 hurricane by Monday morning. So this will mean that it stalls out across our region. It strengthens, and this could add more wind, especially for coastal sections of New Jersey. So future tracker rainfall looks like this, and there's a tight gradient as far as where you find the precipitation. Not a whole lot for the Poconos and the Lehigh Valley, about 0.16 inches of rain there in Philadelphia, close to a quarter in Wilmington, but you move close to the coast, you can see close to 1.5 inches according to this model of rain here in Wildwood, and 1.33 inches there in Atlantic City. It all depends on the track of the storm, and I think there will be a big concern with a lot of wind, a lot of rip current and rough surf issues, but the rain is still a question mark depending on the track of the storm here. So it's bright and nice on Friday today down the shore, a high temperature of 79. On Saturday, get a little bit of rain, turning windy as well, a high temperature of 75. Tropical conditions on the way, storm conditions on the way as we get into Sunday at the coast with a high temperature coming in at 73. Up in the Poconos, not bad. Spotty thunderstorm today and at 83, 81 nice on Saturday, and it stays beautiful on Sunday with a high of 81. Here's the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Sunny and nice today, a high up to 82, increasing clouds on Saturday and at 77. Hermine's wind and rain on Sunday, and it's 77, and there could be some lingering moisture as we get into the actual holiday, Alicia, on Labor Day, a high then of 80 degrees, then things heat back up. We're going to be tracking it for you throughout the day.
Yeah, Hermine's keeping you busy.
Yes, she is.
All right, Melissa, thank you. There is much more ahead in our next half hour of Action News at noon. They are not defined by their disabilities, but are encouraged to challenge themselves instead. We're going to take you to a very special summer camp for children who can't hear, and it's celebrating 20 years of changing lives. And a dog takes care of some bear cubs who were up to no good. We'll have those stories and much more next on Action News.
My son has meningitis.